Apple just announced iOS 27. It seemed to be mostly an update focused around bringing AI to life that they promised 2 years ago. Anyway, I digress. But there is still smartphone functions found on Samsung and One UI 8.5 that you still will not find over on your iPhone when you update it to iOS 27. Let's go. Diving straight in. Apple still with iOS 27 refuses to allow multitasking through split screen or pop-up windows. With Samsung, you get a ton of ways to split screen and handle multitasking from your phone screen, no matter what device you have. Whether you want to actually have split screen with one app on the top, one app on the bottom, or whether you want to actually overlay a pop-up window like a messaging app over the top of a video you're watching, you have that freedom to do that. I actually really like the concept now that the World Cup's heading into play, where I can maybe watch a YouTube video on the top and catch up on the World Cup highlights maybe on the bottom, and I've got 2 videos going at once. Not bad. Apple, with iOS 27, still has absolutely no way of allowing that split screen multitasking environment. It's a little bit disappointing, although I imagine when they launch the foldable, they'll probably make a big song and dance about it running that feature. But as of now, on iOS 27 on slab phones, non-existent still. Next one is there's still no rival to Samsung DeX. This is the thing. What Apple proved with the MacBook Neo is that the phone chips running in here are more than capable of handling desktop software. In fact, the MacBook Neo is phenomenal at it. You wouldn't even figure out that there's a phone chip running inside of it. Yet, I think they're completely undervaluing the iPhone hardware. This phone has a chip that's capable of running a desktop PC. Yet, the phone itself is just absolutely being underutilized here. There is no performance upgrades to gain from it, even though you've got that chip in there. It doesn't allow you to use this phone for more than just a phone. I love the utility of Samsung DeX. The fact you can take your phone, plug it into a monitor or a portable display or like a laptop, and you get a desktop interface running just from your smartphone. I have used DeX a lot. I've set up a whole station here in my office, and I've even got DeX working on my monitor here, and I take it out and about with me all the time. Now, we kind of can guess why Apple don't allow this. They are the absolute best at creating product categories and making sure that product doesn't do more than what the category is. A tablet is a tablet, a phone is a phone, a laptop is a laptop. They do not blur the lines whatsoever. Great business strategy sucks for consumers, because if you want an ecosystem that does lots of things, you have to get everything from the ecosystem. You can't go and just get a phone and turn it into your computer. You've got to get a phone and a laptop. If Apple made a digital camera, you can bet the cameras on here would be nerfed, because they would want to push everyone towards buying the digital camera instead of having the best camera available on your phone. It's probably why they don't enter that market, because, well, they'd lose lots of sales here. That should tell you all you need to know, though, about who Apple are as a company. Now, I'm not saying Samsung don't do this either, but Samsung are a little bit better at allowing you to get more out of your device as opposed to needing to go get something else. Next up is customization. Now, I'll hand it to Apple. iOS in the past was obviously very stiff, very rigid, and very boring. It still is all those things, but they have loosened the shackles a little bit and allowed you to do some customization. But until they open up customization for your home screens, for your app drawer, well, they don't even have an app drawer, they've got app folders, or things like the edge panels, or just general good luck customization, like the fact I can customize my sound panels to have different things in there, but also have different colors. Like, all of that is great. All of that done through good luck. Until Apple brings anything close to that, then I would prefer to use Xiaomi's HyperOS over iOS, because it just at least gives me some customization versus next to nothing here. Next one is the number row on the keyboard. Unbelievably, Apple's stock keyboard has no number row. It was something I found quite shocking when I switched across last year, that I couldn't have a number row by default. To get a number row, I had to install a third-party keyboard, and the experience isn't always as good as Apple's polished iOS one. But it's just crazy, because it's actually really handy to have a number row there. You can continue typing out your entire thought, whatever it is you're searching for, without having to go back and forth to where the numbers are. You can just keep going because it's all there in front of you. Like, imagine if there was a laptop without a number row. There'd be anarchy. And the fact is that you've got a keyboard here with no number row and everyone just accepts it. Nah, not having it. And the last one for me that ties into that, because it's technically in the same area, is a lack of clipboard history. Now, when I said it in the past that it doesn't have a clipboard, people said it does have a clipboard. And I get your point. It can copy and it can paste. And by definition, I guess that's a clipboard. But what I really meant to say was it has no clipboard history. And a clipboard, if anything else, it's a place to store things and you can go back and check through it. Samsung's clipboard actually is a clipboard. You can scroll through previous things that you've copied and it's stored it there, ready for you to paste it again. And it's not just text that you've copied, it's photos or screenshots that you've captured also get stored in the clipboard, allowing you to have easy access to it when you might need it. And whilst we're on it too, Apple still don't give you the ability to copy something and then have it automatically appear in your keyboard ready to paste. I know they have the thing where it copies a code out from emails and messages, but it should copy anything that you've copied, put it into the keyboard ready to paste into a text field, but it doesn't. Samsung obviously does, and it's great. Now look, at the end of this is phone software. One UI 8.5 versus iOS 27. Does it really matter at the end of the day? People use what they want to use, have their preference, they're stuck in their ways. Really what we're doing here is a bit of fun, highlighting what one does over the other or what one doesn't do over the other. It's all a bit of fun, and that should be taken as that. Light-hearted entertainment with a slight bit of education swinkled in there. Swinkled, that's a good word, that doesn't exist. In the same way I'm making this video where Apple doesn't have features Samsung does, I could do it the other way around. I could highlight iOS 27 features that Samsung haven't got yet. All of that could be done. But what I've noticed from this iOS 27 update is it's almost like Apple is playing catch up with what they've announced. The updates to Siri, which they needed Google's help to build a new AI assistant, whatever, make that what you will, or things like the photo reframing, which is kind of cool, but it's like variations of what we've seen with other AI sort of photo editing stuff in the past. All of that's great, but it just feels like it's catch up. It's not like Apple's coming in here with truly groundbreaking stuff. Like, one of the things they highlighted was the fact you have a slider for liquid glass. Like, sliders have existed and customization of software like that has existed since the beginning of smartphones. Yet somehow that's something that's worth advertising. I don't understand. Anyway, like, whatever. It's, again, a bit of fun. What else is a bit of fun is I have merch. So you can go check out my merch store in the link below. If you're a Samsung fan, you can wear that stuff with pride because it's basically telling the world you're a Samsung fan. Understatedly though, like, it's not in your face. It's pretty subtle. It's not subtle. Anyways, whilst you're down there looking for that link, hit subscribe to Tech with Benefits. Also leave the link to my new channel, More Tech, More Benefits, down there as well. You can go check that out where I cover more stuff like this super cool dual screen laptop from Asus. I'll cover that sort of stuff over there. Go see you over there too. Otherwise, see you guys in the next one. You.